Hey Tuvies, it's Psychic Bob. Well, here it is, Sunday, the day of the sun. I don't see much sun today, guys. The sky over here in Virginia is looking pretty gray. But at least the trees are colorful, if you can see that. Anyways, I've been doing readings this morning and getting used to the time change. By the way, did you guys remember to set your clocks back? I tell you, nowadays all my clocks are digital and they're all tied into the internet. So it's like my phone clock sets back, my computer clock sets back. But I wasn't sure because I forgot to do it before I went to bed. So I woke up this morning and I was thinking, I wonder if the clocks are back. So I had to call people to find out the time. Anyways, I guess they all got set back automatically. So thank God I didn't have to worry about that. Anyways, it's Sunday and we're going to go out and see what there is to see. I've been looking at the skies, but you can see it's pretty overcast here. So I'm not really seeing much in the way of UFO activity. I can't even see any plane activity. But you know, this is how it always is. Whenever I want to go look for UFOs, it always seems the clouds come in. But you know, just because it's cloudy doesn't mean you can't do UFO watch, because you know, I've actually seen footage of people who on rainy days like this have caught evidence of UFOs coming below the clouds. So definitely be open to that, okay? Look at these trees here. Aren't they spectacular? They're just amazing. I'm really crazy about the trees here. Tubies, as I'm coming up here to this bridge, I love this is the bridge that goes over to the park. Look at the splash of color here in the trees. As you look down the river, you can see it. It's just a fall splash of color. Is that beautiful or what? Look at this tree here next to me. It's really lovely out here. As I look further down, I can see more and more color. Look at this. All is calm today. It's been raining last night and today. So far the rain's holding up, but Psychic Bob brought his umbrella. You know, better to be safe than sorry. And you know Louie hates walking in the rain. So we gotta always be vigilant and do the best way we can. And as I'm walking through the parkland, you can see how the leaves are just starting to come out. The last 2 days have been pretty cold, and I think that cold snap has brought out the color. But it's really something. I want to give a special shout out to the targeted individuals. I've been getting a number of people contacting me saying that they too are being harassed by the government. And I want to tell you guys, keep your chins up. Don't give in to fear. They only win if we're afraid of them. Someday our stories will come out and the world will know about our harassment. Psychic Bob suffers along with you. The last few days I've received a lot of harassment. They've harassed me online. They've harassed me through my emails. They've physically stalked me. And they've also, done electronic harassment. So be of good cheer. We're in it together. You know, what people don't understand about the harassment is that it is occurring on every level of government. The federal government is harassing civilians, and it's down to the state governments and even local governments. Like, for example, I live in Alexandria, Virginia, and the local police here have actually participated in the gang stalking against me. So, you know, but in time, we'll prove all of this, and it's all going to come out. So don't give in to fear. Have faith, keep hope in your heart, have love. Because you see, it's love that wins in the end. The power of the light is greater than any evil these people can do. So hang in there. Psychic Bob's with you, okay? I love you guys. I also want to give a shout out to all of you who came out to last night's video. We had our Saturday night seance. That was a lot of fun. And if you didn't see that, definitely check that out. That's in the queue of videos right before this video. And you can see what the spirits brought over. They talked a lot about infinite intelligence. And it was fascinating. An explanation from Alfred about how God interacts with us. I loved it. I learned a lot from it. And you know, I always say I get as much out of the channelings as you guys do. Because when they're happening, I don't really know what's going on. But afterwards, I sit and listen to it, and I'm as amazed as well. So check it out, okay? Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. Well, I thought I'd have a change of direction today, and I came to the Chinese restaurant. So I'm having such a good time. This is wonderful. It's called Hong Kong Express. And you can see my menu here. It's got the good luck ship on it. And I got one of my favorite dishes, which is sesame chicken. I love this little place. I've been coming here for years. Look, they got a beautiful wall mural. It's a skyline of Hong Kong. And they got, you know, beautiful neon signs outside. It's a lot of fun. Up here you can see the various dishes. And they got pictures of them. That one right there, oops, let's see if that's sesame chicken. I don't know if you can see it on this one. But they got all these wonderful things, and I just love it. Back in the kitchen there, I don't know if you can see that, they got the kitchen god. That's the god of wealth and money and kitchens. Very appropriate. I figure if they're praying to the kitchen god, you know it's going to be good food. You do. I like people that have faith, especially when they run a business. And this looks like they got a good business. I've been coming here probably 10 years or more, so I can tell you they must be doing something right, and the kitchen god has heard their prayers. Of course, now some of you are going to ask, say, well, is this a different Chinese restaurant? Yes. The last time I went to Chinese food, it was Taste of Asia. That's a little further away. This one's a little closer to my house. This is the Hong Kong Express. They're both great restaurants. Today I decided to come to Hong Kong Express because I think a storm is blowing in and I want to be closer to home. But you can see what I got here. Sesame chicken, yum! And my rice over here. And here's my Arizona iced tea. You know what? I should have asked if they do Chinese hot tea here. I've never had hot tea here, but it might be a good option. Yum! I love it. Well, I tell you, my lunch was awful good. Now I'm full. And they gave me a little present here, which I really love. I love their placemats on their trays because I noticed that the placemats, this is the placemat, they're made of paper. It's the Chinese zodiac. Isn't that wonderful? And the Chinese zodiac, it's kind of different than the Western zodiac, but it shares a similarity in that there are 12 different signs. And each of the signs is a various animal. And every 12 years, the zodiac signs come around. And you can generally, and I say generally, get your zodiac sign by knowing what year you were born. But that's not always the case. So, for example, if you were born in January or February, you may have to consult a Chinese zodiac almanac because, you know, where our new year starts on January 1st, sometimes the Chinese New Year starts later in January or even February. I'll give you an example of this. Now, according to this chart here, for example, here's the monkey, okay? And I always thought I was a monkey. I still think I am to a degree. But it says here that the years for the monkey zodiac sign are 1944, 1956, 1968, 1980, and 1992. So I grew up thinking I was a monkey. But actually, when I consulted the Chinese zodiac astrology book for that year, I actually am a sheep. Now, one of the years of the sheep is 1967. The year 1967, the year of the sheep, continued to, I think it was around February the 4th. Now, because my birthday falls on January 26, 1968, by the Chinese calendar, we're still in the year of the sheep until February. And it was in February of 68 that it went into the monkey. So this is why if you're a January or February birthday, you know, you have a birthday in January, February, you need to really look at the Chinese astrology to find out when New Year began, okay? But anyways, I thought I'd read you here the monkey, because I think I'm more like a monkey, honestly. And it says, you're very intelligent and are able to influence people, are enthusiastic in whatever you do, and are easily discouraged and confused. That's true. Avoid tigers, seek a dragon or a rat. Now, this is the sheep, and it says for sheep, elegant and creative. You are timid and prefer anonymity. You are most compatible with bears and rabbits, but never with the ox. You know, it's interesting because I think when I was younger, I was a lot more timid. I think I was a lot more fade into the background. But these days, I like to be out in front and talking about things. So I'm more like the monkey who's a little crazy and creative. So I guess maybe, you know, it could be that I have elements of both of them. And I think if you're somebody who falls in January, February, you should read both signs. But as you can see, we've got all 12 zodiac signs here. So we've got the sheep, the monkey, the cock, or sometimes called the rooster, the dog, the boar, the rat, the ox, the tiger, what's this one, the rabbit, and we got the dragon, and the snake, and the horse. We're back to sheep. Isn't that wonderful? So anyways, I'm going to take this home and frame it. I just think that's really beautiful. And, you know, I love anything astrological. So I have to say thank you to Hong Kong Express for giving me this wonderful Chinese zodiac sheet. Yay! Oh, and look, tubies, it's fortune cookie time. I open my fortune cookie here, and it says, success is on its way to you. I like that, but I just hope it hurries up and gets here. I love my fortune cookie. It's a great treat on a Sunday afternoon. You know, these would be good with vanilla ice cream. And guys, I've been reading today more from the Dao de Jing. I really love this book. I think if I were to say what is my most sacred of scriptures, you know, Wicca doesn't have scriptures, but if I were to claim a scripture as a sacred scripture, it would definitely be the Dao de Jing. In fact, I was going to read this passage to you here. And it says, chapter 21, it lies in the nature of grand virtue to follow the Tao and the Tao alone. Now, what is the Tao? It is something elusive and evasive and elusive, and yet it contains within itself a form, elusive and evasive, and yet it contains within itself a substance, shadowy and dim, and yet it contains within itself a core of vitality. The core of vitality is very real. It contains within itself an unfailing serenity or sincerity. Throughout the ages, its name has been preserved. In order to recall the beginning of all things, how do I know the way of all things at the beginning? By what is within me. Isn't that wonderful? That's taken from the Dao de Jing. I love it. Wow, that was a really great lunch. I really enjoyed it. Well, I'm outside and it's still looking overcast. I'm up on a high point here, so I've got a great view of the sky. But as you can see, it's still very, very cloudy. You know, we may not get much UFO activity today, but you never know. It's been windy, and by tonight, the clouds may burn off, and you know, it may be clearer. So, you know, if I get some clear skies tonight, maybe we'll get some more footage in. But anyways, it's so good just to spend this Sunday with you. You know, even though we don't have a lot of sun, it's still daylight. You know, it's funny because when you look at the sky, how dense it is with clouds, the sun is so powerful that it even still illuminates the earth. It tells you how powerful it is. I'm loving this canopy of fall trees. For those of you who live in some of the desert areas, I know some of you have written to me and said, Bob, we don't ever see the leaves where we are. Everything stays green year round. But so if you're in one of those areas, hopefully my videos will give you a little bit of pleasure in seeing some of the fall foliage and the beautiful colors. I think this is just beautiful. I love it. I'm having a great time. You know, I was thinking here about the Dao de Jing, and well, it's interesting because it's like the power of life, the force, the cosmic energy of life is all about us. And, you know, when we do magic, we're tapping into that energy. And it's like I said yesterday, or was it the day before? I don't know, whatever day I said, maybe yesterday. All my days blur together sometimes. But I said, you know, instead of saying the word Tao, we could say equally the word the Force. You know that movie Star Wars, you know, they talk about the Force. Everybody thought that was a fictional thing, but really, Steven Spielberg was inspired by the Taoist writings and the Buddhist writings, and that helped him create the concept of the Force. So really, the Force is a real power. You know, I think I just made a mistake in my last video clip. I said that Steven Spielberg created the Force, but actually it was George Lucas. George Lucas wrote the original Star Wars scripts and books, and it was George Lucas, so just to correct that. But I think Steven Spielberg and he were close friends and probably thought an awful lot alike. But yeah, George Lucas came up with the concept of the Force, which is another way of saying the Tao, or the all that is all. Look at these trees here, guys. I'm just so inspired by the skyline. The splash of color is really lovely. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that rich red and the golds and oranges. It's really lovely here. Yeah, it's finally starting to feel a little bit like fall. Here on the East Coast, it's been hot and dry. This is probably the driest fall that I remember. And thank God for the rain. We really need it. Look at this little squirrel here. He's so cute. He's been following me along. You hungry? You looking for food? He's probably finding a lot of acorns. With the wind, it's knocked down a lot of leaves and branches and acorns. I bet the squirrels are feasting. I love squirrels. They're so cute. You know, in the Dao de Jing, it talks about water and how water is representative of the Tao. It flows and moves and changes shape. I like that. It says that in Taoism, it's commonly believed that being near sources of running water is like good fortune for the soul. It's good energy. It's powerful spirituality. I believe that. I think there's a lot of truth to that, you know. Whenever I come here and I walk by this river, I'm always inspired. It's just lovely. So tell me, guys, what's it like where you are today? Is it raining? Is it hot? Is it cool? I'd love to know. What's your experience? Does it seem like autumn? Now, I know I have a lot of viewers down in Australia and in New Zealand down under. I guess you guys are heading into summer down there. We're going towards, I guess you're spring. We're into autumn, going into winter, so you're spring and slowly moving into summer. It's interesting how the seasons are around the world. So what's it like where you are? Tell me. Look at this, guys. The ground is literally carpeted with golden leaves. It's so beautiful. As far as you can see. Golden leaves strewn down the path. I love it. It's so beautiful here. It's like following the yellow brick road. You know, the crickets must be confused. It's so dark that they're chirping now. I think they think it's night or something. You know, it's good. This is something that everybody should do. Get out in nature. If you can, do it today. Get out and walk. If it's raining, bring an umbrella with you. Don't sit and say, oh, I can't go out, it's raining. I find some of my best walks happen when it's raining. It's so peaceful and quiet. It gives you time to think. I think in our modern world, we're so rushed. We don't get the time the chance just to have quiet, to think. And as I walk through here and I contemplate the woods, I contemplate the trees and the leaves, I see the hand of the Tao. As I read this wonderful book, the Dao de Jing, I can study its truths in nature. The ancient Taoists always said that nature is where the Tao was found. I believe that. And here we're coming up to my outdoor altar. This is a giant rock that I use as an altar. It's a natural altar. I love giant rocks. I think they're so mystical and powerful. You know, in the Shinto religion, they believe that rocks possess a spirit. I can believe that because when I'm around this rock, I really feel like it knows that I use it and it gives me permission. I think if you work in nature, one of the things you always want to do is ask for permission from the natural elements. Ask for earth, air, fire, water, the rocks, the trees. Ask them all to lend you their blessing and their support. That way you work in harmony with nature. And as I said, you know, Wicca and Taoism have a lot in similarities. And the Wicca, we always want to be in tune with the natural energies of the earth. But then the Taoists do as well. So I think there's a real unity between both of the faiths. Look, you can see how big this rock is. I'll put my umbrella down on it. And you see, that's a giant, that's a full-sized altar. Pretty cool, isn't it? Now, I need to bring my chalices and my knives out here and recharge them. That would be a really good video. We'll do that soon. I'll bring out my chalice and my Athame wand and we'll have a ritual here. I also have another altar further up that way in the park, which I showed you a few weeks ago. So I have a few different outdoor altars now. That's my grand altar, and the other one's just a little altar, but they're both wonderful. You know, I'm walking here and it just seems so quiet, just a gentle breeze. I hear the crickets chirping. I think they think it's night because it's damp. You know, they probably feel the weather like, you know, it's damp like nighttime, so they're out. I'm looking here down the river again. It's so calm and placid. It looks like a mirror. Now see, this is a type of a body of water where you can come and do scrying. And I've done scrying on this river before. If you don't have a magic mirror or a black mirror, or maybe just don't want one, but you want to do scrying, this is what I would say was the original mirror. The original mystics didn't have fancy mirrors like we have, but they did have bodies of water like this. And this is a great place just to look and ask the spirit world to bring you a message. And in the depths of the reflection of the water, you might see a face, you might see a spirit, you might see something. So remember that. The natural bodies of water make the best scrying mirrors. They really do. Well guys, no UFOs today, but it's always fun to look. And I'm so glad that you came along with me on this walk. And I hope wherever you are, you're having a peaceful and a blessed Sunday. Listen guys, if you want to help Psychic Bob out, like this video, favorite it, share it with your friends. And please hit subscribe, be part of our channel. We'd love you to be here. And if it's a Sunday and you're bored, you can pop over to my website and check out my readings and my books. I'll put the link in the info box below and pop over there and see what I got. I think you'll enjoy it. You guys are best. I love you. Oops, I'm dropping everything here. Sending you my blessings. We'll see you back here tomorrow on Monday, the day of the moon. And we'll have horoscopes for you. Blessed be. We'll see you tomorrow for horoscopes. Until then, always, please be blessed.